Sign it, or you'll never marry my son. The mother-in-law's demand cracked through the dinner hall as a thick prenup hit the table. Silverware rattled, guests leaned in, their whispers like knives. Cameras flashed, capturing the bride's humiliation, labeled a fraud, a beggar, an intruder in silk. Her fiancé sat frozen, spine bent with cowardice. The family smirked, certain she was cornered, powerless, broken. But the black bride's silence was not weakness. It was the storm building, ready to erase their entire legacy. The chandeliers at the Asterion Grand shimmered like a warning. Tonight, they watched a different ritual. Sign it, or you'll never marry my son. Victoria Langford didn't raise her voice. She slid a thick prenup down the head table with the calm of a judge delivering sentence. Silver rattled, eyes turned. At the center sat Raya Morgan, straight-backed, unblinking, while Evan Langford studied the stem of his glass as if courage could be found in reflections. 0 alimony. No stake in anything the Langfords own. Any child bears our name only, Victoria recited. You get what you brought. Nothing. Raya lifted the pages. Clause after clause nicked at her like tiny blades. You rehearsed cruelty, she said. Victoria's smile was polished stone. We rehearsed wisdom. Families like ours survive by foresight. Evan wet his lips. It's just standard language, Raya. We'll soften it later. The tone, not the terms, she said. A murmur rolled, curious, hungry. The orchestra missed a beat and faded. Raya set the pen on the signature line, drew one deliberate slash straight through it, and slid the document back. No, the word didn't spike. It settled. Heavy, definitive. Victoria's gaze cooled. Then you'll leave this table and this family the way you arrived, uninvited. Raya didn't move. I didn't arrive to be owned, a server hovered, awaiting instruction. From the ballroom doors, a measured voice cut in. If anyone approaches her, it'll be to escort her to the front. Jonah Park, Raya's CFO, approached with 3 attorneys and a slim tablet. He nodded once to Raya. Timing. Victoria laughed once. Crisp. Security. Unnecessary, Raya said, rising. We're on schedule. Evan frowned. What schedule? The Helios schedule, she said. The word traveled like a spark. 2 board directors of Langford Holdings straightened at once. Victoria folded her arms. Helios is with Northbridge Systems, not you. Northbridge is an acquisition, Raya replied, through a shell you didn't trace. Its rights were reassigned this afternoon. Jonah set the tablet between the champagne flutes. A dashboard blinked awake. Escrow pins, dependency maps, a countdown. Payment due. 21 hours, Helios Core license. Failure triggers revocation across 19 subsidiaries. Lender alerts auto-sent. Phones lit along the front tables. Fingers stumbled. You built a trap, Victoria said softly. I built documentation, Raya answered. The truth is in the wiring. Evan's throat worked. Raya, who are you? What you never asked me to be honest about, she said. Founder of Orion Systems, owner of Helios. Victoria's poise slipped by a fraction. You lied to my son. I told your son I worked in systems, Raya said. He never asked whose. Jonah tapped again. The ballroom screens, mounted for tomorrow's slideshow, filled with contracts. Langford ought Northbridge, Helios. A second agreement. Assigner Northbridge, assignee Orion, executed 1807. A director stood so quickly his chair scraped. Madam Chair, this is time-stamped. Raya laid 2 fingers on the linen. Option 1. Sign the revised operating schedule with Orion and continue without interruption. Option 2. Decline and wake up tomorrow inside triage. Your call. This is extortion, Victoria whispered. This is accountability, Raya said. You do understand the difference. Evan stepped toward her, palms out. Please, not like this. You chose like this, she said, eyes steady. When you let my dignity become entertainment. Jonah slid a second file across. Addendum A governance terms. Text stacked in clean bullets. 18% equity to a victim's trust administered by the Ashen Root Foundation. 3 board seats reserved for previously harmed small business owners. Executive compensation indexed to restitution benchmarks for 5 years. Public apology tomorrow at 10. Victoria's laugh returned. Brittle now. You think you can refit a company at a dinner? Raya tilted her head. I think we just did. From a middle table, a woman rose. Marisol Ortega, owner of an air freight firm Langford once starved with predatory terms. If you have a pen, Mrs. Langford, she said, use it. Victoria scanned the room and found fewer allies than mirrors. The countdown on the screen slipped under 30 minutes. She snatched the pen. Ink stuttered. Signatures landed like wounds. Jonah sent the packet. A second later, receipts chimed across the room. Executed. Schedule updated. Equity transferred. Evan's voice came out thin. We can still marry. Raya slid the ring off and set it atop the crossed-out signature block. You needed me quiet. You'll have that. Victoria tried one last thrust. You'll regret the enemy you've made. No, Raya said. You'll remember the mirror I held. She turned to the guests. If Langford tactics harmed your company, submit documentation to Ashen Route by Friday. Grants begin next week. You won't be asked to beg. People rose, not clapping, merely acknowledging the weight of a room corrected. Evan reached once more. Raya, I love you. You love comfort, she said. That's different. He didn't argue. It would have required a spine. Enjoy your dinner, Raya told the room that had tried to seat her as decoration. Langford Holdings is footing the bill. She took 3 steps and stopped, measuring the chandeliers, the polished silver, the portraits on the far wall. Power isn't inheritance, she said to no one and everyone. It's what still stands after you tell the truth. She walked into the corridor. The doors closed behind her with a soft, decisive click. Outside, reporters waited. Jonah had told them to wait. Marisol stood among them, no longer a supplicant but a future director. Raya nodded once. The message moved. Begin. Within the hour, the release hit the wires. By morning, lenders would reconcile signatures against covenants. By noon, 3 families strangled by Langford terms would receive calls. Grants cleared, mentorship scheduled, lanes reopened. Inside the ballroom, the orchestra tried to pace music over structural cracks. Victoria held her son's hand and felt how small it was. Directors drafted statements. Attorneys hunted exits in contracts that had none. Raya didn't look back. In the service corridor, staff lined up trays for dessert. A dishwasher lifted his chin toward her. She returned it. Some witnesses don't carry phones. At the curb, a car waited. Jonah slid in first, then Raya. He handed her a second tablet. A list of names. First disbursements? She asked. Ready by sunrise, he said. Raya signed with a steady finger. Send them, and schedule listening sessions. We're not here to perform mercy. We're here to repair. City lights cut the window into ribbons. Evan's text arrived as they turned onto 5th. I can change. Raya typed, then start. Ahead, the future opened the oldest way. Through a door someone else believed was theirs. Raya stepped through and closed it softly, leaving the ballroom to its echo. If this story shook you, don't stay silent. Like and share it now. Comment your city and the line that struck deepest. Then subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss the moment truth flips power.